Good morning, my friends. Hello, hello. Welcome. So glad you guys are joining us. Brenda and I are here ready for another YouTube Live. I've got some fantastic cards. Oh my gosh, so excited to create these. We've got an autumn card and a Christmas card. Okay, Brenda, I don't know about you, but it is still in the 90s here in Oklahoma. And I'm like, I want my fall leaves. I want my fall to be here. It's almost October. I want the leaves to change. I want all the fall stuff.
It's 50 degrees here, so you could have that here. So
it's like, boy, we're just gonna have one of those, which kind of worries you when you're having like this really hot September. I mean, it was in the hundreds in September. Ugh. And I'm like, okay, what kind of winter are we going to get? I'm really, really worried.
Yeah.
I'm looking. We've got Margie and Susan and Judy and Deborah, Barb. Oh my gosh, so many of you are joining us right now. So glad you're here. And even if you're watching the replay, we're also glad that you're here. My fabulous moderator, Brenda, is over there on the other side of things. And we're excited to be able to be here and share. Brenda, everything going good with you?
Things are good with me. So I have a funny story. You know how I really like the show, the movie Wild Hogs, because, I'm a 12-year-old boy sometimes. I decided we went to Backstage, and you remember these patches that we got?
Yeah. I got one right there.
Yeah, so they're not stickers. I mean, they're stickers, but they're patches.
Yeah.
I'm sewing them onto my Stampin' Up sweatshirt. I have a gray one. Because I'm going to be like the Wild Hogs. I'm going to have patches on my sweatshirt.
Oh my gosh.
Because
I love that movie. I like it when John Travolta's riding his bike
and he's
like blown up the biker bar and he sees it in his rear view mirror. And he's like, we're not stopping for gas. We're not stopping for anything. Great movie.
Yes. But other than that, I'm really good. And look what I found at the coffee shop the other day.
Oh, let me see.
You're going to know.
You got to bear with me because my iPad's not caught up. So I'm trying to see, what is it?
Chocolate covered coffee beans.
Ooh, now I can see it. It's caught up over here now.
Yeah.
So do you guys do any chocolate covered coffee beans? Brenda and I, we're kind of coffee fanatics, and we especially loved chocolate covered espresso beans, coffee beans. So yeah, you'll have to let us know in the comments if that's your thing. I shared over on Instagram and Facebook about my love for caramel and these incredible, what were they called, Brenda?
Biquet. I can't remember.
B-E-Q-U-E-T, I think it's that.
I think so.
Oh, I mean, I've been trying to lose weight, and I think I've put most of it back on just because of those darn caramels. They have been so good.
Well, and when my dad said we couldn't have them.
I know, but they have been really good. I keep them in the fridge for two reasons. One, they'll last longer. Two, when they come out of the fridge, they're too cold to eat, which means I have to wait. And sometimes I can forget.
And very important to wait because my husband actually knocked his jaw out. Because he ate a cold one and his jaw clicked for like a week.
Oh, okay. I love caramels, but I don't think I'm willing to
just let it cool. Just let it warm up a little bit.
Okay. Ow.
Okay.
Well, guys, thanks for letting Brenda and I just kind of chat with you while we wait for everybody to get on. I do love to let you know if you're watching the replay and you want to get to the stamping, I get it. Just scroll forward till you see my hands, and then we're ready to go. All right. Yep. So let's see. Connie, we're gonna get our screens going.
I cannot get you up. There we go. Gotcha.
No, there we go. Yeah, technology. If you remember, like 2 weeks ago, we couldn't even get this part to work. It's always something. Always something when it comes to tech. All right. Well, friends, we're going to get started with our cards today because that's what you came here to see. And the old phrase, what's old is new again. Well, that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be featuring a card that many paper crafters have been making for many, many years. Well, it's time for it to make a comeback. So let me head over to my stamping table. I've got my free download here because you guys know I love to give you a free download. I don't charge for these because I just want to give it to you as my way of saying thank you for giving me your time today. This one has a diagram, a cutting diagram, because I know you guys love diagrams. You love to make it easy, and I love to make it easy for you. So you'll have that. Brenda will put the link to the diagram there in the chat. But if you're watching the replay, look down in the YouTube description. There's a direct link to today's blog post, and you'll be able to find it there. By the way, you know how it is when you make a card. Sometimes you need that refresher. You can click or scan the QR code to come back to this video. And if you'd like to order any of the supplies, my friends, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So if you're in the United States, be sure to click there and place an order with me. I would love that. All right. Everything you need for today's card is here. Here's your measurements. Here's the supplies. And of course, we've got our download. So don't mess with writing anything down. I've got you covered. So let me show you the double Dutch gatefold card. So I make gatefold cards quite often. I love them, but this is called the double Dutch because I don't know, it kind of looks like a little barn door. But I loved this card. I loved this designer series paper. So this is going to be our autumn card. Stick around if you need a Christmas card. I'll be making that one here in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to walk you through everything. So let's go over supplies. How about we go ahead and go over supplies so you know what you need. I've got some pretty peacock cardstock. That is for the base of my card. And this is some interesting cutting, by the way. All right. This is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Now that is a very different cutting that we usually do, like 4 1/4 by 11, or we do 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, but this is different. So be sure you're kind of paying attention and don't go, Connie made a mistake. No, I did not. This is correct. 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. You are going to score that at 5 1/2 inches. So now you can kind of see why that's a little bit different. So that is the first part. And this is the second part. And this one is a 3 1/4 by 8 1/2. And I have scored this at 2 1/8 of an inch on both sides. Sometimes I just find it easier to just rotate my cardstock. Let me go ahead and bring this in so I can kind of show you what I like to do. You will bring it in with the 8 1/2 at the top. You'll score at 2 1/8 here, rotate it around, and 2 1/8. Many times when I'm doing a scoring like this, or a card that I need things to meet in the middle, a lot of times I really do, instead of trying to score here and here, I like to rotate because it just kind of helps ensure that things are going to go together. All right, that is our pretty peacock. We've also got some crushed curry, and this is for some of our layers. So let me show you what I got going here. Again, it's easy cutting, but this is what we have. So I've got the first one. This is, I got to look, where's my stuff? There we go. This is a 5 1/4 by 4. I have a 2 3/4 by 4. These two pieces are 1 7/8 by 3. And then this one, this is my sentiment layer, 2 3/8 by 3. All right. You guys know I like to get creative with my cutting. So I'm going to kind of set this one over here for a minute because I'm going to come back to that one. That would be the 2 3/4 by 4. I'm also going to need a little bit of Very Vanilla for the inside, 3 3/4 by 5. And what I like to say is the star of the show is the incredible All About Autumn Designer Series paper. Now, I have to kind of show this stuff off. It is a photograph on one side and foiled Designer Series paper on the other. But guys, this paper is stunning. I mean, and look at this. Are you guys picturing some masculine cards? And look at the back side. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful, beautiful paper. So I'm going to highly, highly recommend you add this to your list. I'm going to be using the pumpkin paper for mine. And it's time to bring in that diagram. So let me grab that because this is what's going to walk you through your cutting. But one of the questions I get asked quite a bit is, how do I know what direction my designer series paper should go? Because, when we're creating this card, I don't want my pumpkins going sideways or wonky ways, right? We want to make sure that it's all going in the right direction. So I've actually told you right here that your DSP should be cut so that the 5 3/4 is at the top. All right. Now with this paper, I got to be honest, there's really not a right or wrong way, but there are designer series paper that might have flowers and things that are going in a certain direction. So we want to make sure we cut correctly. I'm going to bring my paper trimmer back in here. So with the 5 3/4, or this is a 6 by 6, by the way. So I want 5 3/4 up at the top. So that means I can put 5 3/4. And then it says the 5 1/4 is down the side. So 5 1/4. And, if you want to decide which end, doesn't really matter on mine, but you've got options there. Okay. So there's my 5 3/4. Let's look at our diagram. It says with the 5 1/4 at the top. So that's easy enough. 5 1/4 at the top. We want to cut this down to 2 5/8 by 5 3/4. We already know that's 5 3/4, right? So 2 5/8. I know you guys hate those eights, but if you'll go over to your 2 1/2 and move over in between 2 3/4, that's our first cut right there. Now, what I like to do is lay these in place. All right, because I don't want to get confused what anything is. All right. So now we're going to take this one. This was our 2 5/8 by 5 3/4, and we want to cut it down to 3 7/8. And that's in between 3 3/4 and 4. All right. So there is that piece. This is scrap. Okay. Let's go on. I should have made this like to scale, but I didn't. Okay. So now we're going to take what's remaining, and with the 5 3/4 at the top, yep, I got that. We are going to cut this into 2 pieces that are 1 3/4 by 2 7/8. So I'm just going to verify I'm at 2 7/8. I am not. Why am I not at 2 7/8? Did I cut this wrong? Oh, friends. Oh, friends. I don't know what I did there. It's always something. I'm going to make sure I have this correct, because I don't know what I did. I really don't. We're going for it. It doesn't matter, right? Sometimes when I go live, that's when everything just wants to have a mind of its own. Okay, that's called Connie should have paid more attention to her cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these at 1 3/4. Who knows what I did? It's all good. Okay, and that's going to leave us this piece here. You guys know when I do these things, and I do, that just means we need to get creative. All right, we can do that. I'm going to take this 2 3/4 by 4 inches, and I want to go ahead and I'm going to start doing my stamping and just one little bit of die cutting. So for this card, I'm going to be using a bundle. That's optional. Okay, I want to be very clear. This bundle is optional. I'm going to use the Autumn Leaves stamp set. And actually, the only thing I'm going to use in the bundle is this label die. So again, it's a label die. You might already have some other things that you can use. Please feel free to use those things. But it's the Autumn Leaves that's going to knock your socks off. All right. So what I'm going to do from this, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick stamp with a pretty peacock ink pad. By the way, that's the only thing I'm using today on this card is a pretty peacock ink pad. I'm going to take my stamp and say, I'm thankful. And I got to show you this. In this stamp set, you can say, I'm thankful for all you do today and every day, or to have you as a friend. So you get to kind of pick and choose what you want your I'm thankful. What are you thankful for? I'm going to say, I'm thankful to have you as a friend. Isn't that perfect? See, so many options. All right. I'm going to close up that ink pad for a minute because I'm going to do a quick little die cut here. And I'm going to bring in, I think I'll just bring in my little mini machine for this one. Do you guys have your little mini? I love my little mini machine. It's great for little things like this, and it doesn't take up as much room on my desk. And you guys know, if you've been following me, especially live, you know how much I like to complain about not having enough space here on my desk. All right, let's run this through, and we'll do this quick little die cut. The other thing, if you've been following me for a while, is you know I love to conserve cardstock. That is always a favorite of mine. So I always look at my cardstock before I put things together and go, okay, what can I die cut from that? What can I stamp? Again, it just kind of helps me conserve. So there is my sentiment. I'll go ahead and set that off to the side. And I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do one more bit of stamping. I just thought I'd go ahead and get my stamping out of the way. This is the Very Vanilla for the inside of my card. And I'm going to knock your socks off here with the leaves. First, let me go ahead and get my sentiment with a grateful heart right there. This leaf stamp set is stunning. I'm going to stamp it in Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to stamp off once. See how dark that is? And I'm going to stamp it right there. I know, it's beautiful. Now we're going to take the inside and, oh, I got a little crooked there. That's all right. No, it's not. No. Can't do it. And that's the reason we have magic two-sided paper. I was on the chats earlier. I was talking with some of you, and I said, you know what, guys? It's a 2-cup of coffee day, and I didn't get my second cup. All right, let's go ahead and get that sentiment back on there. Yep, I know mistakes happen. They happen to me all the time. But I love that our cardstock, Stampin' Up's cardstock is really fantastic. And you can't see through it. Yay. All right, let's put this card together. The base of our card. So remember these two pieces. This is the quick and easy, oh so easy version of the double Dutch card. And you could see if I wanted to, I could have had you score and cut and get all these pieces and remove all this. But guys, I love to just keep things easy for you. So I'm going to adhere this panel onto the bottom of my card. So let's get some adhesive here. This will be hidden, by the way. In fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to fold that. And I want to line it up at the bottom and the sides. I'm going to need you guys to tell me if I'm doing this straight, because with that camera right there, it's sometimes hard. How are we looking? You know what? I need to make sure I'm seeing my comments. There we go. Oh, Dawn said she just found me live first time. Oh, thank you, Dawn. I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here live. Well, guess what, guys? Once we've done that, the hardest part is over. And let's face it, it was not hard. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting some things together here. This is my larger piece of crushed curry. This should have been, I believe, a 4 by 5 1/4. That's what I said, when you're not even going to see the double Dutch fold right there. Let's take the good side of my stamped image. This is, of course, is where you're going to write your message. We'll add that on top. That makes the inside of my card so pretty. I'm telling you guys, this autumn leaf stamp set it's just going to knock your socks off. All right, we had some other pieces of cardstock here. I'm going to take this one. You remember this one that we die cut from? No one's going to see it. Like I said, I love to die cut from pieces before I put things together. It's just one of my favorite little tricks. I've got 2 more pieces here of crushed curry. Whoops, I didn't let my, trying to get better at getting my holding my Stampin' Seal straight up and down so I can not lose. Oh, I got a little goober there. That's not good. All right, so we are going to add our pieces here. Hi, Jeannie Hoffman. I'm so glad you're joining us today on the live. We are making this fantastic double Dutch card. I'm glad you're here. All right, now it's time to come in with those pieces of designer series paper. Yes, I'm doing it correctly. Woo! Had to check there. It pains me to put adhesive all over that beautiful foil. But those pumpkins, they're gorgeous. They are gorgeous. Look at that. Okay, now this part that I'm about to do, this is where I kind of messed up. So I don't know what we're going to get. Let's look. You know what? I'm going for it. I don't know. It's fine with me. We just get creative, right? That's what we do when we make mistakes. So we will put these pieces here. I think I'm just going to center them up and leave that up at the top. Live and mistakes and Connie. 3 things that go together so well. All right. We have that. This is for our sentiment. And you know what? Because I messed it up, I'm just going to trim this down. Things happen, right? Creative opportunities. Let's see. How far should I trim that down? This is a don't be like Connie. Do it the right way. I think I'm going to go 2 3/4. All about the creativity, my friends. That's what we do. Now, this part of my card, I do want that foil. I want that foil to show. That's why I brought in the pretty peacock into this card. So I am going to adhere the foil side up. And let's see. Oh, Carolyn says, I put the foil side on the doors. Oh, that would have been pretty. Yeah, I could have done that too. All right. Oh, before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and add some ribbon to this. I'm going to bring in the Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon. Let's see how well I can tie with only 1 cup of coffee. Now, when I tie bows, I do like to leave it on the spool. Just a little bit easier to work with. What about you guys? Do you like when we have actual measurements to cut the ribbon, or do you like to leave it on the spool? I'm gonna leave it on the spool, girl. So we will give ourselves a bow right there. I want it to be kind of small. And I think that's going to add so much to my card. And maybe it'll hide the fact that I didn't cut my paper right. Because, that's what I do. Okay, we'll trim that off. Add our beautiful ribbon. Now, when I add this to my card, I want to be very careful to only add adhesive right here. Okay. And that ribbon kind of makes it pretty easy because I can see where I want my adhesive. And I'll get that right there. Close up your card and center from side to side. Let's come down to about here. And another little trick I always like to tell you guys, I don't press it down too hard. I want to open it. Make sure my adhesive isn't showing. It's not. So that means I'm good to press it down. And you remember that sentiment? I've put some dimensionals on the back of it. And one of the reasons I like to put dimensionals on this sentiment is because it kind of helps balance that ribbon, that bow, especially when I'm mailing it. Don't you love how I cut it down and it still works? Yep. That's just those fabulous creative opportunities. All right. I'm going to bring in my good one without the error and let you guys see. It's a fantastic card. Absolutely gorgeous. And you must admit, it was pretty quick to make, right? All right. We are going to move on and I'm going to share another card with you. Let me unbury it. Yes.
They are leave it on the spool kind of gals.
Okay. I love that. I know. I'm a leave it on the spool as well. Really, guys, the reason I do that, I think it conserves my ribbon and I just seem to do better with it. Well, this time we're going to make a Christmas card. All right. Very simple one. And this one uses one of my favorite stamp sets. And I'm going to explain why. It's called Modern Garden. I am a huge, huge fan of stamp sets that are made for Christmas but can be used beyond Christmas. I want to get the most bang for my buck. And even though I love Christmas cards and I love Christmas stamp sets, it is nice that when Christmas is over, I don't have to put all my stamp sets away. And this is one I get to keep using. And I of course did these flowers in poinsettia colors, but this could be any color. What if you did these in bubble bath and flirty flamingo? What if you did them? Ooh, what if you did them in this pretty peacock like we did here where we stamped off? I mean, get creative, guys. But this stamp set, you do not have to put it away when the holidays are over. I love that. Okay, I'm not going to do all of my measurements for you again because one, they're in the download, and two, we want to just get to making a card. So I'm going to show you how to do this one. You can see I've gone ahead and put your double Dutch together. All right, there's all my layers. This time I used basic black instead of the crushed curry. So you guys know how to put that part together. But what I want to teach you is my stamping. All right. So let me go ahead and give you the measurements here. So I have a 2 5/8. Let's see. No, this one, I got to get this right. This is 3 3/4 by 5. That's for the inside of my card. Then I have two pieces that are 1 7/8 by 3. And then I have this would be I got to look at it, 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. And then we have a piece for a sentiment. That's the one I'm missing. That is a sentiment. I did go ahead and stamp it in advance. That is a 1 3/4 by 3 7/8. All right. Again, it's all in your download. So I'm going to need these pieces here. All right. So the 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. Where are you? By 3, and the 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. I'm going to bring in some grid paper, because I'm going to do some stamping off here.
Connie?
Yes.
Is that 3 7/8 or 2 3/8?
I have. Which one? Did I say? Which one? This one?
The white. Mm-hmm.
This is a 1 3/4 by 2 3/8. Did I say something different?
Yes. You've got 1 3/4 by 2 3/8.
And is that correct?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Let's check. Okay. That is a 2 3/8 by 1 3/4. Yeah. Okay. So I said it wrong, but it is correct in your download.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
Yep. And by the way, this sentiment came from the stamp set. But look at this. Enjoy your special day. Best wishes for a fun-filled future together. It's your birthday. Yep. You've got everything you need to keep working with this set. But because we're making a Christmas card, I just stamped the sentiment. And you notice it's up high. All right. Well, now we're going to create some really great flowers and what I like to call my homemade designer series paper. Now, on our last card, I stamped off on the, remember how we stamped off right here? Well, this time I'm going to use two different colors. So I'm going to start with some Poppy Parade, and we are going to stamp some of these poinsettias or poinsettias, depending on where you're from. Because I know some people say it different. That's always the debate this time of year, right? Is it poinsettia or poinsettia? Is it, flip it over. Flip it over. Okay. I love that we can stamp again on our basic white cardstock. All right. Poppy Parade is done. Now let's give it some texture with a cherry cobbler. And this is the inside. So this will be our little pop. And there's no right or wrong where it goes. Okay. So perfection, you're not trying to line anything up. We love that, right? Sometimes I just want to get the stamping done, especially on Christmas cards. We want to just kind of get to going. And I goobered up that one. So guess what? We're going to flip it over. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have had 1 cup of coffee today, Bren. I just don't seem to be able to stamp anything very well today. Well, again, that's why I like to say, welcome to live. There are days that I am with it, and there are days I'm not. I had a tough creative week. I don't know if you guys deal with that, but it was just one of those days I just could not seem to find the creativity. Yeah, it happens to all of us. All right, shaded spruce. Let's add some leaves. And this is one of those projects. It's going to be really great to do while maybe you're just sitting there binge watching something, just chilling. I think that's sometimes the best time to just sit there and do this type of stamping. And I've been binge watching. Our latest show is called Almost Paradise. And I think it's on, oh gosh, I think it might be on Hulu. It is hilarious and fun. And it's kind of you know what I like about it? It's good for, my husband loves it. It's action filled and I like it because it just kind of makes me giggle. And it's got, Christian Kane, and he is a local Oklahoma boy, and we like that. So yeah, check that one out. Almost Paradise. There you go. See, you learn so much from my videos. All right, we're going to come in with some crushed curry. Brenda says, Mama said there'd be days like this. Boy, you're not kidding. All right, we have a little polka dot in this stamp set, and you guys know I love polka dots. But I'm going to fill in with the centers here with some crushed curry. Again, a great Christmas color. So cherry cobbler, poppy parade, crushed curry. And now we're going to add one more little bit, and that's going to be in some Memento Black. I've got this little, I don't know, it's just a little speckly guy. But if you guys have followed me for a while, you know I hate bald spots in my paper. And so this kind of allows me to sort of fill in a little bit anywhere that just needs a little something. So we will add those. And okay, I'm going to get this last one. I'm so glad you guys are still with me. Oh, and it's 11:30. I usually try to be done by now. So I'll tell you what, we're just going to stop there. If I hadn't made mistakes, we would have been just fine. All right. I'll tell you what, I think you guys know exactly what we're going to do. We are going to adhere, and adhere our Homemade Designer Series paper. Let me go ahead. I'm just going to bring in my card. You see, I stamped another flower down here at the bottom. And I do want to go ahead and show you how I did my sentiment. So I told you that I stamped it up a little bit higher, and then I added some ribbon. Have you guys seen this gold and red polka dotted ribbon? It is gorgeous. And I want to give you a trick on tying this ribbon. Okay, not so pretty on the other side. Actually, it's not awful, but I'm more about the polka dots here. So here's my trick to tying this ribbon in a knot. You're gonna just tie it like you're about to tie. The problem is that you will go to pull and your ribbon's going to be flipped around. So give it a twist. Make sure you're holding both of those polka dots face up when you pull so that polka dots are up on both of those. All right. I've already got one here made, and I'm going to bring in a mini glue dot. I'm going to press, make sure you press the polka dot side up here. I'm going to press that really good onto there. I will add that to my sentiment. Easy, easy. You don't have this stamp set? Look at your other Christmas stamp sets. If you need to adjust the size of this sentiment, adjust the size of the sentiment. If you would rather use designer series paper, maybe you'd rather use cardstock and emboss it. You can do that too. But the fun of this card is that fabulous little double Dutch gatefold. Super fun. Let me go ahead and bring in my first one. The I'm Thankful. Again, those pumpkins, that paper, it's absolutely gorgeous. All about Autumn Designer Series paper. All right, friends, there we go. Oh, I loved creating those cards. I do apologize for my little cutting error, but yeah, I always blame it on the coffee. Jeannie said it was beautiful. Thank you. Judy said she loves the DIY DSP. Yay. Dawn, who's joining us. Yeah, lots of options. Absolutely. Oh, Mama Roo, I appreciate your comment. Beautiful card. So glad you guys like it. Kim, thank you. Thank you guys so much. And Rob Max, I'm so glad that you're here today. All right. Well, hey, real quick before I close, I do want to make sure that everyone is aware that October 13th and 14th, there is an incredible online stamp retreat waiting for you. This will be our like 14th or 15th retreat that we've done. We do one every quarter with the Creative 8 team. Creative 8 team is made up of myself and 3 other top Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, Brandy Cox, Jackie Bolheist, and Sharon Armstrong. We come together. We have a weekend set aside just for you. If you really enjoy lives and there's just the opportunity to stamp together, this event is for you. So let me tell you why. You notice on that Christmas card that I made, I said, change it up, use any flower, change the colors, do whatever you want. That is really what we love to do with the Creative 8 Retreat. This is all about using what you have on your shelf. You do not have to go out and buy a lot of stuff. We want to share with you ideas where you can use what you already have. You're going to bring in your own colors, your own paper, your designer series paper. And this retreat, we're going to have 9 YouTube lives for you. We'll have 2 on Friday and 7 on Saturday. So this is just a fabulous weekend set aside just for you to have some fun creating. Now, let's say you're not going to be available on that weekend. No problem. Don't worry about it, because there are, you can come back and watch it anytime. This information is there for you forever. It never goes away. So 3 years from now, when you want to recreate that card, guess what? You can go back and watch the videos. There's even some short pre-recorded videos. So if you just need a refresher, you can always go back and watch those. I mean, we have everything for you. It is an amazing deal. You will find the information to get registered at simplysimplestamping.com. Look in the menu bar up at the top for Creative 8 Retreat, and you can get yourself registered there. Guys, I'd love to have you. It's going to be so much fun. You're going to have 48 written tutorials to go along with your projects, diagrams, really, and written instructions. So yeah, we've got you covered. You've got the written instructions, you've got a short and sweet video, and you have the live. So no matter what type of stamper you are, whatever type of when you go to do your creativity, if you like it written, if you like visual, if you like quick and easy, we've got you. So I'd love to have you guys join me. And Cindy says, Jeannie, you're in for a real treat because Jeannie signed up for her first retreat. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so glad. Listen, if you've been to the retreat, jump in there. Let people know what you think. I mean, it started during COVID. We decided to start doing these retreats to kind of give people the opportunity to somehow come together. And because you remember, it was kind of a lonely time. And we just found that it was just so much fun. This opportunity to bring stampers together. We said, let's keep going. And we have been having a blast. And I know you guys, once you go to it once, you won't want to miss again because it really is fun. All right, my friends. I'm going to shut things down for now. Thank you. Thank you so much for being with me and allowing me to make mistakes. That's what we do because paper is so forgiving, right? That's all for me, everybody. I will be back next week with another live. I do not have the cards in front of me to show you. I'm trying to remember what they are. Don't worry, they're going to be incredible, right? So be back here next Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time. We'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.